Namaste. Welcome, beautiful souls. Sorry, I was down the rabbit hole. Down the proverbial rabbit hole, but I'm back. Welcome. Happy Friday. Welcome to my tarot chat. Welcome to 2024, January 5th, 2024. Today and next Friday, and maybe the next Friday, I am going to hopefully engage you in conversation regarding the Lux Prajna tarot. And the Lux Prajna is a tarot that is not available right now. And so this exercise is not meant to drive you crazy because this deck is not available, but I'm actually seeking your assistance in conversation. So I did a video on the complete walkthrough, and it is linked in the description box below. Today, we're going to look at some of the cards, and I'm going to ask you some questions of reflection. And the intention here is, where does this message fit in the 56 cards of the minor arcana? That's my intention. And I have 4 piles of, and I can start with some of those just so you sort of know where I'm at, which isn't very far. And the rabbit hole I was down, which I need to go back and look up, is the myth of the dragon and the rooster. I did look it up, but I forgot what that was about. So that was one I will hold off for next week. Okay, so where am I so far? And these are not set in stone, but I'm feeling pretty good about most of these ones here. I think this one is good. So this is Endeavor, and this is one from the beginning I thought fit in beautifully with the energy of the Ten of Wands. In the Ten of Wands is a journey that we carry a load. We are coming to the completion of the journey. And there's something here, it looks like he's, I just noticed this. It's almost like we're at the end here. You know, there's this beautiful purple and blue sky, and I just love this card for the Ten of Wands. I think sometimes the Ten of Wands is just read in endeavor, meaning like that Japanese expression, gambatte, gambaru. See it through to the end. This I'm going to leave as the Two of Wands for now, or that could be the Two of Pentacles as that change card with the I'm not sure if I want this as Two of Wands or Two of Pentacles, but I'm going to leave it at Two of Wands for now. And this card is going to be one of the queens. And when you look at her, which queen do you see? And you may choose to disregard the keyword. And is this Sun? Is this the Queen of Wands? So for me, I'm sort of torn between, is she going to be the Queen of Wands or the Queen of Earth? And if you are referring to any of these cards, I would really appreciate it if you put the keyword and then your comment. So because there's always a lag in the chat. There are, I believe, more than 56 extra cards. So it will be, there'll be some that we don't have to fit in. This one actually has a name. This one is the Queen of Cups. There are, I think this is the only one of the 56 minor arcana that is actually named in this deck. Hi, Perry. You're welcome. And this one, this is called Satisfaction. I think this is going to be 9 of Cups. And I will share this card again with you later. because I have had this card all over the place, but I think this is going to be my Four of Cups. And I will bring it out again. And this one is the Five of Cups. So these are within reach if we need to pull them out. Swords. This is, I think I'm going to save this one for the King of Swords. Hi, Saskia. Namaste. And so that is 3 court cards. So there's 13 court cards left to figure out. Okay. This, I think I'm going to use this one for Ace of Swords, and this one for 10 of Swords. Now, this is a really interesting card, and this one called Worldly Vicissitudes, I think will be my 9 of Swords. And I love this transition from the Buddha here to the Buddha outside. And there's just something, this reminds me of the Bhagavad Gita. This reminds me of, you know, being inside the whale, having that moment of enlightenment. And then we have, so I like this as 9 and 10 of Swords. Mental focus. So this one might be 2 of Swords. I need to think about that. So that, but it's definitely going to be a sword. And then I've got 5 pentacle cards here. Ooh, this one I might leave this one. This is called the Giver for the Page of Pentacles. And then I have another one that, and I was sort of torn between, this one's called Goodwill, which I may leave as 6 of Pentacles. And I think she could also be 6 of Pentacles, but I think I'm going to leave her as the Page of Pentacles. And if you have any other ideas, just let me know. This one I've got as 10 of Pentacles right now. It's called Tree of Life, and it's actually got the Tree of Life and the flowers over on this side. Actually on that side as well too. This is a really interesting card. So there is a frog, there's a jaguar in the shadow here. Keyword is comfort zone. And I think this is going to be 4 of Pentacles, in that the safety of the 4 of Pentacles, the protection of the 4 of Pentacles. And then Clevis and I had a really good discussion about this one. This one here, we kind of pared down to the 5 of Pentacles, in that, oh, so many things. And it might have to come back to me, but the virus that is around here almost looks like the stained glass window in Pixie's work. It's like a card of, like I was talking about in the Tower episode this morning, like transition through adversity. Transition through adversity. So I may need to go back, but these ones are sort of kind of designated. Okay, so now here's where I need your help. And like I said, it would be really great if you could put the title of the card, and that, so let's start with the ones that were on the thumbnail today. And I'm going to leave the 3 out because I know how the chat gets really laggy, and any thoughts are greatly, greatly appreciated. So let's start with the card on the left, Kintsugi. Kintsugi is it's a Japanese art where you take a piece of pottery and you repair it with gold with glue. So the glue is gold paint. And it becomes this new, beautiful piece of art. This is a card of healing. And in a way, I'm looking at this like if you ever saw the scars, the original version of Chris Ann's Ten of Swords in the Light Seers Tarot. This has a haunting familiarity to that. This is a card of healing. It's a card of repairing. So I want you to think about all of the cards, all of the potential healing cards in the deck. This is from the words of Master Thorn Bunyan, the author. When we embrace the imperfections of life as valuable scars, akin to precious gold, this is translated, of course, from Thai, we learn to grow wiser with every breath. Cherish the lessons they bestow us. And of course, you know, a lot is lost in translation. I can copy that into the chat. So, as I shared with you, I have a different card for the Ten of Swords. But when you think about healing at this level, where are the healing cards in the minor arcana? The cards of, yeah, okay. The card on the far right and this card here in the center both have an energy of heat in them. The card in the center, we see a person deep in the flames. And when you think of the journey through the Suit of Wands, where are you in the hottest part of the fire, the deepest part of the fire, right? So obviously we're in the latter part of the Suit of Wands. And, you know, it's a paradox that the depth of the fire is the coolest part of the fire. This one is called the coldest place. And I think that is a really interesting play on what hell is. And then then bereavement. Is this the Three of Swords or is it something else? And those of you who are going to be watching the replay, then yeah, same instructions. So write down the keyword and let me know where you think this fits in the 56 cards of the minor arcana, and any of those that I already said earlier. If you disagree, then awesome. Give me your feedback, okay? Healing. So let's go back to Kintsugi. Kintsugi. You may want to pick up a Waite-Smith deck. This deck is based or is inspired by Pamela Coleman Smith's art. This is an extra card that came with the deck, and it says, "In loving memory of Pamela Coleman Smith, Pixie in my dreams, Monday, March 14th, 2022. And I think that's beautiful that Pixie came to him in his dreams while he was working on this deck. Yeah. So for the card in the center, I was thinking about the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands. So maybe Three of Swords is on the right, maybe Nine of Wands in the center. Yeah. So let me know. Okay, sorry for the long pause there. I'm going to put those to the side. And maybe I'll put this one in the wands pile. All right. This is a really interesting archetype. Survivor. One who has endured. Maybe they are the only one who has survived. I'm thinking this is going to come towards the end of a suit. How does this card make you feel? And I'm not sure that there is any other card quite like this in the deck. It feels like it's a definite intention of where that's going to go. I think it has a different feel than this freedom card. And again, I'm feeling this is an end of a suit card, freedom. With its earthiness, there's a hummingbird. Hummingbird could be Suit of Swords, but I'm feeling kind of a Nine of Pentacles kind of vibe. Yeah, so freedom versus survivor. So those two can kind of be thought about together. Calm and nurturing in a place of peace and relaxation. Now, it's interesting that you should say that because there is a card that is called relaxation. So how is freedom different than relaxation? This card, in a way, reminds me of a card from the Osho Zen Tarot where I think it's a Two of Pentacles. There are two trees that kind of grow together, and they both are blooming in different colors. So when you say no fears, you're referring to the relaxation card? Sorry, you're referring to the freedom card. And so this card that I'm thinking of, I think it is the Two of Pentacles. But it's so peaceful, the relaxation card. Both of them. Okay. Hello, Indigo. For me, it feels like the crane heron is looking over its shoulder. Thank you for this. I appreciate the input. Almost like it's trying to safeguard itself from any more traumatic experience. So where in the tarot do we cage ourselves in? Or where do we create that sense of protection in the minor arcana? That's really interesting. Seven of Swords. You know, this isn't an easy exercise, and this is sort of an exercise at a whole other level. And you may want to come back and, even if you offer something for just one card, I really appreciate your contribution. Now, there's a couple of other cards here that kind of we're in a not the same but a similar theme. This one called Sojourn In a way, it looks like we're going into a secret garden. Okay, so let's go to indigo here. So 8 of Swords or 9 of Wands for the Survivor card. For this card. Huh. Actually, indigo, I kind of like that for the 8 of Swords. Bird, right? Also bird. I wonder if the birds are a clue to where they fit. And this one kind of takes me into the idea of secret garden. Sojourn. So to me, sojourn is a bit of a trip, a bit of a travel. Yeah, it kind of has a 9 of Pentacles sort of feeling, but it also, in a way, it feels to me like she's going to visit someone. It feels like she's going to visit someone. Almost like, you know, like this is Red Riding Hood going to visit grandma. Not that kind of a story, but it's tender. It's a very, very tender moment. And for those of you that are just showing up, what I'm trying to do with this deck is place these cards in the minor suits, and to have a version of the 56 minors in these cards. Okay. Now, this one, I guess I'll put this one here with the Sojourn card. This one is the road home. We're going home. And if you were on at the beginning, I do have a card that, yeah. Or maybe this is the 10 of Cups. So 10 of Cups, if you think about it, zodiacally, it is the last card, right? It's the last card in the 36 decans. But this feels very Pentacles to me. The journey cards tend to be what? The 6 of Swords and the 8 of Cups. And I haven't assigned either of those cards. And there may be some other ones that fit into that. So let me know what you think there. Okay. Now let's look at some partnership cards. Because there's some really interesting relationship cards here that are not easy to differentiate. So there's this one, which is keyword is coexistence. Let's go to Perry's comment. The road home is always a faster trip than the earlier time traveling away from home. Okay, that's something good to remember. Thank you. Leucism, now I had to look this up. This is different than albinoism. But what I'm seeing here is that this mother jaguar is loving her white baby cub exactly as he is. She is protecting him. And it's really interesting that in the coexistence card, and coexistence kind of has a not entirely positive angle to it. And just wait, because I'm going to put out a bunch of cards that have very similar energy, and maybe we can dissect some of this. This one, which says uninvited guest, is also really interesting because the cat is outside and the bird is inside. So there's this flipping of, what is the way things normally are. And there's this paradox between outside and inside, which is also interestingly expressed in the prejudice card. The perfect Inukshuk is framed. It's framed. It's put on display, there's put energy around it. But the beautiful sort of off-centered Inukshuk is outside. And there's more relationship cards that I think we need to sort of throw into this mix. Okay, so there's these 4. And then there is the Alliance card. And it's funny, this, I'm looking at not just the art from this deck, but other art by this artist. He must have a thing for yellow Volkswagen Beetles because they're featured in a lot of his art. This card, somehow, in a weird sort of way, I'm thinking 3 of Pentacles. The beauty, the connection. We have a natural animal, right? A bunny. We have a beautiful tree, and we have a man-made object, and they all just kind of fit together. I don't know. So very interesting card, considering a master, the Warren Bunyawan's relationship with Volkswagen Beetles. And then we have this one, which is Love in a Bottle, which everybody says right away, oh yeah, this is 2 of Cups, but I'm not so sure about that. And then I guess the last one I'm going to put on this group, and I know this is a lot of cards, it's a lot of sorting to do. And when I first saw this card, I read it as entangle, but I think it's actually cat tangle. I think it's a play on words. Okay. So you see what I mean? This is really, really, really tricky. Relationship is a part of all of the 2s, for sure. Relationship. And so I think because I think this one is a 3. What's 3 of Wands? Oh, 3 of Wands. Have we seen a card that looks like the 3 of Wands? Perry, they are all touching harmonious living. How does this card make you feel? The little stone structure that is out front has a lot of energy around it. It has the same amount of light that the perfect one does that has been framed. And in a way, there's something about the leucism card and the prejudice card that feels very similar, but there's a very protective nature to the leucism card. And I think the quick and dirty thing is to go, oh yeah, well, this is going to be one of the cards that has the lemniscate on it. But I don't know about that. I think this is, on one hand, there's a lot of cats in his artwork. He loves cats, and there's something about the magic and the energy of being with the cat and all of that. But there's also a loss of the individual here, unhealthy coexistence. It's almost as if these two cards are the opposite of each other. Okay. 3 of the pink images suggest protection. Okay. The vulnerable bird on the inside. Okay, so in this one, the vulnerable bird on the inside, the couple inside the bottle, protection. Okay. Protection. I feel protection in the leucism card as well, too. And Perry, you agree. You can see that. Okay. When I think of protection in the tarot, I think of the 4s. I think of the safety of the 4s. So maybe we can look at that. So, but 4 of Cups has a different energy. Love in a bottle. Okay, I'm going to leave these ones, okay? And maybe we can come back. And if there's any cards that are that you have an idea later and you can think of the keyword, then bring that forward, okay? Okay. I feel like I should be able to easily assign this card. And I know that there are quite a few tarot decks that use masks. One of them, so the politics card in the Osho Zen, that is one. Like who are we really? Boundaries. Yeah, that fits with the those cards as well too, the previous ones. Is this a 7? Is this a 7 of Swords? What else do you feel here in this one? Not quite sure who I am. And you know, this is a card that really bothers me. The bifurcation card really bothers me. And because of that thing in the mouth, it's like It's like a tongue of lies. I don't speak my truth. I speak in two voices. I'm my voice is divided. Also, part of the face is in focus, and part of the face is out of focus. So both of these cards feel like there is a deception of some kind here. I don't know. I'm not sure who I am. And are there any, I'm not sure that there are any other cards that sort of fit in that group, so it should be fairly easy to place them. Okay, so there's that group. Now, this is another word I had to look up, and I will read you I can put it into the chat. I don't know if it's too many letters, but let's see. So when I read this definition, I mean, this looks a lot like a devil card. And I think it might be, but this is particularly about love. This is about delusion. Ooh, the state of being obsessively infatuated with someone, usually accompanied by delusions or a desire for an intense romantic relationship with that person. And that the water, like being sucked down into the whirlpool and being held up by those ropes. This is it's, we could have a discussion about, like, what's the difference here? And I'll show you the devil card from the major arcana. Okay, where is the devil? This is the devil. So where? Entrapment, overwhelmed. Where do you feel this? Where do you feel this in the tarot? What suit? Remember, like all of the fives, I don't think I have assigned any of the fives. 5 of cups, 5 of swords, 5 of wands. 5 of pentacles maybe has been assigned. Tower. Let me show you what, and this is the tower. So the major arcana, I may very well have to do this in a different way and just let all of the oracle cards be what they are. And this intention of mine might just not even be possible. But on the other hand, part of me is saying, wow, I really think that there's something here. There's something here, and there is a way through this. Okay. All right. So limerence. So how is, part of me wants to think that this could be a Five of Cups card based on that definition. An inability to let something go. The nuances of these meanings are, there is a lot of overlap. The turning in card could very well be a Nine of Swords. What are the key words? This one is limerence. This one here, limerence, which I put onto the screen. This one is loneliness. This one is turning in. And part of me thinks, wow, maybe this is a Five of Swords. I mean, I think this card of many, of not too many here, could go in a few different locations. And so I mentioned about Three of Swords, and there was a card I thought, wow, okay, is this the Three of Swords? Which one was that? Because in this card here that is called Nurture, there is a heart, or there is the energy of a heart that is being held by hands. And out of that heart grows a tree. And in that tree, there is a light. If you know the Three of Swords in Avalon Cameron's Bone Stone Tarot, you see a charred heart. And in the out of the charred heart, it doesn't really help to know the corresponding card relationship. So you think it's better to just let the cards be what they are? Maybe. Maybe. Yeah. And to do a reading, and then perhaps part of the there are, however, a number of cards that are, I suppose it just is going to take some time to understand what they mean, and what they stand for. There are, as you know, in the tarot, there's 16 court cards. And there's a bunch of cards here that feel like perhaps they could represent one of the court cards. So, for example, but then, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. So here is one, Ganesha, my teacher, and I showed you one earlier, the author, and the disciple. And then there's a Kuan Yin card. And when I think of Kuan Yin, one of the key words for that energy is compassion. Compassion. So this has a very, and it's bizarre to me that we have both this level of energy as well as the apparent superficiality of a keyword such as glamorous. And yet, this life, this experience is both. And beauty is both spiritual and it is both connected to our God energy, as well as it is something very dangerous that has developed in popular culture. Yes, yes, all levels of human nature. Okay. Okay. I think I'm going to leave that for today and see if there are any comments and any feedback. And if the general feeling is that, yeah, just let these cards be what they are. We don't have to force them into positions of the 56 minor arcana. That perhaps that is doing a disservice to these cards and not letting them expand in the way they need to expand. So another example was like this card to me feels like an ace. And I found an ace of swords, but can I find 4 aces? And I'm not sure that I can. So if anyone else has attempted this project, let me know. Let me know. Okay. And I might just leave this for end this discussion and leave this sort of open. But I look forward to those of you watching the replay. If you have anything to add, it's greatly appreciated. Okay. And Perry and Saskia and who else is here? There was one other person here. Indigo was here earlier. Thank you all. I appreciate your input and these tarot oracles. Is that what you call them? Tarot oracles. They're a different breed. They're a different breed, and sometimes the structure just doesn't work, right? Okay. Enjoy your weekend. And I'll see some of you for the star reading tomorrow. I will be doing a reading on Saturday and Sunday morning and carrying on with that series. Take good care of yourselves. Thank you. Namaste.